Hello, I hope that you have had a very nice and interesting conference so far. And now I will start my presentation. My name is Dr. Toini Harra, and I'm coming from Metropolia University of Applied Sciences from Finland. My title today is Co-Developing the Future Digital Solutions for Better Aging at Home. This is our campus. We have in Metropolia 4 different campuses, and this is from Myllypuro. This is the newest one. And our strategy and our aim is to build reformer of expertise and an active builder of sustainable future. Here is some statistics concerning our organization, our higher education institutions. And why I'm talking today for you about these co-developing future developmental solutions for aging people is that we are really challenged in Finland to the problem that we are actually wanted to be in. So this is the old age. People, amount of them are going higher and higher. So in the next 40 years, the situation will be that the old age to working age ratio will almost double. And in Finland, elderly housing situation plus 75 at the end of 2020 is that 92% are living in regular home, mainly in owner-occupied housing, alone or with their couples. And 7.3% are living in assisted service house, and only 0.7% in hospital. So we are challenged to make many kind of changes for the future so that our aging people could live as good life as they have had before, and also better. So there are several kind of objectives we trying to catch in next years until 2030 at least. The functional capacity of older working aged people has improved, and careers have a longer duration. Older people retain their functional capacity for a longer time, and voluntary work has an established position in society. The main point for us is this: digitalization and new technologies have increased well-being, and also housing and living environments area would be age-friendly. And of course, services are implemented in a socially and economically sustainable manner. When we think about aging people, we often have a certain kind of picture and idea how it is. But when we think about user-friendly digitalization, we need to think about that actually aging people plus 65, there are so many different people in so different functional situations. So we can't have only one view. We need to have different kind of views, and we need to have different kind of purposes for the digitalization. For example, activity booster, so that which is promoting health and maintaining functional capacity when we are okay. And when we want aging in place at home, this digitalization can enable and facilitate independent living activity. And of course, when the helps and protects are needed, but still we want to live at home, and we need to live at home, we need many kind of different digital solutions in that situation as well. Now I want to show you a video about Older, Not Over. This is made by Help Age International. And they say that they are just getting started.
We are the ones who brought you the internet.
We started the global climate movement.
Pushed the outer reaches of space.
Stood for freedom,
Justice
and democracy.
and revolutionized women's rights worldwide.
We made some of the greatest art, films, music, and scientific breakthroughs the world has ever seen.
And we're not done yet.
We are the overlooked.
underestimated,
Unfinished generation.
the louder and prouder ones.
The bolder and braver ones.
And in the face of today's greatest challenges,
we could just be the world's greatest hope.
We are the older generation.
And we are just getting started.
We have had in HIPAA remote from 2018 and 2023 two different kind of projects, but in our heart has been well-being and health of aging persons, and therefore we have wanted to co-design user-friendly digitalization, not for, but with the aging people, because we think that they have so many kind of capacities, capabilities, understanding, they have preferences, they have their needs, and therefore we need them to co-design these digital solutions together with us and companies also who are involved and who are eager to produce digital solutions for aging people. We have found that out that they are not so much known about the life of aging people, and especially the multiplicity of life of aging people. We think that there are certain kind of values that are important for every one of us, and also for aging people, and you can see them here. So our next step will be that we will co-develop user-involved digital, not only solutions, but ecosystems for the futures, so that these ecosystems will be integrated to each other, and they will help aging people to live at home, and they will help in many different ways. Also, what we have found during these years is that these solutions need to be user-friendly, accessible, they need to be health, secure, and resource-wise. So this adaptive and enabling home through digital ecosystems is our next step where we want to go based on our experiences from these previous projects that we have had. Of course, we know all that we want to home be cozy, flexible, accessible, and safe. But when we think about adaptive and enabling home, we think that it should also to support, facilitate, assist, integrate, and do for issues for residents. And this kind of home will learn to react and predict to the activities of residents. It makes it possible to live in own home and in changing life situations. It needs to be invisible IoT and uses information about system parameters and user activities. It will make everyday life easier, where the home learns as much as resident wants. And these kind of houses might be useful from the family with small kids, younger people, people in working age, and also people in aging. In this HIPPA remote and HIPPA activities, we have had co-creation sessions together with companies, together with our students, aging people, and different kind of organizations and networking partners. We have made tests and user trials in authentic environment together with aging people. We have had sparring processes with companies, and we have built up stories of authentic stories of aging people, so that companies could get familiar with the multiplicity of aging people's life. And we have made virtual co-creation sessions. And of course, we have collected all our results and many kind of materials to Tuttunet platform. It's tuttunet.fi, and it is conducted also, translated in English. So please feel free to go there, and you can find open access models, information, insights, studies, and services for all. They are all open access and free to use and make changes for your needs. Here is a picture about our contacts, some of our contacts. We have made these authentic user trials with the City of Helsinki, Myllypuro Senior Center, and Eastern Home Care Unit in Helsinki, and the private senior home Wilhelmina, and also in Singapore with the Sasko Senior Citizens Home. Also, we have started to discuss about these user trials with the Hovicare and the Salvation Army Peace Heaven. We have got to these collaboration, for example, building up this adaptive and enabling home. We have made collaboration with the Venete system and Skanska, which is big international real estate and construction company. Also, we collaborate with Hublet, Getting Better, Enfit, Bredicel, Medeca, Dose Control, and Living Skills to build up this ecosystem together. Here are some results from 2018 and 2023. And based on these results, we have got very nice feedback from companies that they have got needed information to make changes to their solutions, and they have saved money because of these changes have done before marketing these solutions. So the feedback what we have get from aging people and end users is very important for companies. And also when we have had these co-creation sessions together, the companies have got ideas about the life of aging people. They have had straight connection to users. And also these users have been more familiar with these different kind of solutions. And also our students have been very happy to be familiar and to get to know about different solutions and get to know also needs and preferences of aging people. And also some impacts. Here you can see what has been done. So growth and success of business is something we want because we need these companies to build up and develop new and better solutions and make these ecosystems together with us. Better life and living of aging people, meaningful and innovative co-learning for participants. All of us, we are learning when we are doing these things together. And new knowledge, understanding, competencies, and attitudes for all. So here you can see our network and partners, end users. There are NGOs. They are free aging citizens who are interested in digitalization and collaboration with us. And it has been very nice that we have got the feedback that they are still interested in to make these user trials together with us. And service housing centers. We have got a very nice international network also. Here you can see some of these countries. Mostly they are higher education institutions, but there are others as well, like these service housing organizations. We are here in Metropolia. We are collaborating a lot, not only in health sciences and well-being, but also with real estate and house building, with media technology, which is counted as a cultural discipline, also with ICT. And so we are building bigger and bigger network here in Metropolia also. And here you can see the network that we have had in Finland with other higher education institutions and also cities, networks, and other projects. And we have got a lot of partners during these years, and we are very happy that their collaboration will continue. So we will continue these activities and this collaboration with these companies through our Metropolia on board. So you are all welcome to visit our website and also our website tuttunet.fi. So developing age tech for the future's good life, user-friendly co-design. I would be very happy to collaborate with you in the future. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Toini, for your sharing. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, let's take a look at the questions. The first question is, what collaboration opportunities exist with healthcare providers, caregivers, and other stakeholders to ensure seamless integration and effective implementation of the digital solutions?
You asked what kind of collaboration. We have straight connections to healthcare and also these NGOs where we can meet both end users and their relatives. So we have this straight connection with them, and if it's needed to set up co-creation sessions, for example, we will do that.
Thank you. And I think that is something that it's good to map out every stakeholders in the society so that we can know what resources we have and what is inside our pocket, and then what we can contribute. So next question will be, how the project engage and gather the aging persons to provide their feedback? How many of them at this stage, and what are the incentives to participate in this program? there's a few questions here. Maybe let's start with the first one.
Yeah. First of all, we have had these tests, for example, or user trials with aging people, and I suppose they have been over 20. I don't have exact numbers of them. And when we collected their stories about their life and their expectations of digitalization and so forth, we had over 350 aging people who were giving their narratives of their lives and their expectations. And also in our co-creation sessions, we have had about, I would say, 10 to 20 aging people who have given their feedback about, for example, virtual environments, how they felt it, how it was to get in there, and also, for example, whiteboards, how are they used to use them, and what is their experiences to use these kind of tools for collaboration remotely.
I see. And another question is, how do you think this project adaptable and scalable to accommodate the changing needs and preferences of aging individuals as they age in place?
Yeah, this is very interesting question, because if we think about, for example, 20 or 30 years further, I think that our situation is very, very different kind of than what we have now. So I think that in future we will be more experienced to use different kind of virtual and remote tools and applications. But also our environment will change a lot. Both how we are how aging people are able to live in their homes. For example, I think that we will use much more digitalization for safety issues. We will use more robotics for helping them to manage their daily life. And we will have more different kind of applications to communicate to each other. And also we have more different kind of application and tools to bring world to inside, to the place where we are aging. I would say that we are aging there. So I think that in future we will have much more possibilities to collaborate in different kind of ways in remotely, so that even if I live alone at home, I doesn't need to feel that I'm alone, but I can be together with my community. And also this new way to live together, these communities and different kind of housing systems will change a lot our possibilities to live and aging in place in future.
Thank you for your explanation, and actually it's a very hopeful note to take, and let's take it as our challenge at the same time as our hopeful action in the future. Thank you, Toini, for your time, and take care.
So hello, everyone. My name is Shannon Freeman, and I'm an associate professor in the School of Nursing at the University of Northern British Columbia, and I'm also the academic director for the Center for Technology Adoption for Aging in the North, or what we like to call CTAN. I'm connecting into you today from the city of Prince George, BC, which is located 1,000 kilometers north of Vancouver, and we're located on the unceded traditional territory of the Lheidli-T'enneh. Today, I've been asked to talk to you about validating technology options to support older adults. So I'll start off by talking a bit about our center, the Center for Technology Adoption for Aging in the North, and then I'll get into some of the project examples we have of different projects we have running through our center, where we really focus on validating technology options for age tech. So a little background about Canada. So our Canadian population is greatly aging. And indeed, we're quite a bit behind the aging population you're already experiencing in Hong Kong. However, over the next 20 years, our population is expected to really greatly increase, and even more so, the population of older adults who are age 75 plus. Indeed, in the north, where I live, we're expecting the proportion of older adults age 75 plus and indeed 85 plus to grow greatly. So as I said before, I'm located in northern British Columbia. So we're on the west coast of Canada. Hopefully lots of you are familiar with Vancouver. And the area that I talk about that we serve is the top 2/3 of our province. So geographically, we're the size of the country of France, so about 600,000 kilometers square. However, we serve a population of about 300,000 people. So you can imagine we have a greatly geographically dispersed population across a great wide range of land mass. Indeed, in northern BC, our population of older adults is only about 40,000 people. We do expect this number, though, to greatly rise. And as I mentioned before, we expect the number of older adults age 75 plus to exceed the number of older adults age 65 to 74 within the next 10 years or so. So when we at our center sat down with our health authority to discuss, how we're going to support older adults to live well and age well here in the north, one of the key things that became very evident was we will not have a sustainable workforce to actually be able to support that number of individuals to live and age well in their communities. So what really became evident was how technology will play a really vital role to support older adults to age well across our communities. A recent Canadian survey showed that 3/4 of older Canadians, so that's older adults age 65 plus, feel comfortable using technology. And indeed, nearly 4 out of 5 older Canadians feel confident to use current technologies. 3 in 4 older adults in Canada believe that technology can help them in many ways. However, the challenge really is that only 1 in 5, or about 20% of older adults, use technology to support their health and well-being. So there's this huge gap between feeling confident and comfortable to use technology and the actual number of older adults who actually use these technologies. So this is the gap we see. There's a huge gap in the north between all of these technologies that are being created and things that are commercially available, and older adults, their care partners, and the healthcare system that supports them on the other side. So there's this vast disconnect. And really, there's fragmented accessibility to technologies here in our northern communities. So sometimes, like a hot air balloon going across, something with a lot of resources can make it to northern BC, but indeed, there's a real gap between making these technologies accessible and usable in our northern communities. So that's where our center aims to fill that gap. We aim to bridge the gap between all of the technologies that are currently available or being created, and be that bridge to connect them to our region here in northern BC. So today I talked to you about the Center for Technology Adoption for Aging in the North, or what we call CTAN. And on our center, we support people to age well in the north and in rural communities by making technologies more available to older adults, their care partners, and the healthcare system that supports them. We are built on a partnership between our health authority, which is Northern Health, our university, the University of Northern British Columbia, and AgeWell, which is Canada's National Aging and Technology Network. Our programs focus on testing, piloting, implementing, and promoting new and existing technology solutions to help older adults and their care partners in our communities. So how do we do this? Well, we co-develop projects and we establish partnerships with age tech companies to meet the needs of different stakeholders. So here's some logos of companies that we work with quite often, and I'll talk about some of them a little bit more as we go. The key thing is we look at global partnerships for local impact. So we connect out with lots of technology companies and things that are available, and we pull them in to make those connections to our older adults care partners and our healthcare system here in the North. So our age tech partner engagement ranges across a large number of theme areas, from promoting autonomy and independence, cognitive health and dementia care, supportive homes and communities, staying connected, and healthy lifestyle and wellness. We are one of AgeWell's national innovation hubs, and we are the only one that focuses on rural and northern communities. Here you see a picture of AgeWell's age tech startups. So these are all Canadian age tech companies, and we work with these different companies in the network. Also, if you look at the Gerontechnologist.com, you can see the global age tech startup maps. And so lots of these companies need their products tested, validated. Maybe they need to adapt something. Maybe they need a different business plan to make their technologies accessible to people here in the North. And so we aim to fill that bridge and those knowledge gaps for them. So our goal is to fuel an age tech innovation ecosystem. So we have a demonstration and testing facility here at the university, and we have lots of these technologies on hand so people can see them in our community. We facilitate testing through a network of real-world testing sites, and those testing sites connect from people all across the care continuum. So we connect to people living independently at home, people receiving some home care or nursing supports, all across to people who are receiving long-term care, being supported in the acute care sector, or even supporting individuals at end of life. And through these projects at our real-world testing sites, we're able to gather insights on the technologies, as well as some of the benefits and opportunities and challenges of those technology companies that they may have when trying to make their products beneficial and accessible to people here in the North. So it's through our strong partnerships and our collaborative approach that we aim to find the right technology to support the right person in the setting that is right and desired by them. So here's a picture of our demonstration facility, which is located on our campus, and it's set up like a senior's apartment, if they were to have a one-bedroom apartment here. And here we test and validate and look at adapting the technologies for a particular setting or application. Also, we use this demonstration facility to connect in for community engagement. So lots of members of the community from all over the North will come to our center to learn about these technologies and see what options are out there and available for them. So let's get into some project examples about how we are validating and testing these technologies right here in Northern British Columbia. I want to emphasize that we do a lot that's research to impact. So our research, often we are building that evidence. So to inform policymakers and decision makers about what technology, the benefits or the challenges associated with the technologies for them. So here you can see a paper that we wrote about hydroponic and raised bed gardening. And you can also see those words. That's the words of the people who participated about how they felt about being part of that program. So we've done a lot in the long-term care sector to bring in indoor gardening. So here you can see a couple pictures of the Just Vertical green walls. Just Vertical is a startup company that's created these green walls. And so we've done some research projects to see what are the measurable benefits for older adults who are living in these facilities, for their care partners and families who come to visit the facilities, as well as for staff who are working in the facilities by having an indoor garden there. And here's one of our long-term care resident champions. In the middle, you'll see John there, and he's showing you some of the food that he's harvested. Beside him in the white jacket, you can see a dietitian, Erin, and she was really the champion to move things along. So when I say research to impact, this research is also one of the impact is we are moving along what is known for the company. So we have a pilot to quantify staff time. We also have the hospice who read the article and saw some of the benefits and wanted to extend their understanding to, so if this can help older adults and them reflect on their life course, how could it also help support children through their grief process? So we can expand those pilots with our partners. A second technology to look at is one that's here is called the Care to Talk. And here, this is a simple lockdown tablet technology, but actually it allows for easy video connection for individuals to connect. So this technology is actually the backbone of another project that we're running with the Prince George Hospice Society to support individuals to receive and be able to access 24-hour video connection to their on-call care provider to help them die at home. So if there is some kind of emergency in the home, they're able to immediately just simply touch the picture and they're connected to the on-call nurse. And it allows the on-call nurse to see right into the person's home. Often we find in Canada, those crises points, the caregivers will become frightened and will take their loved one to the hospital. And so they'll call the ambulance, and often these people who are very medical frail at the very end of life will end up dying in the ambulance or dying in the hospital. So we're looking at using this technology to validate if it's feasible to be used as the backbone for this home hospice program, again, to support individuals who wish to die at home well, and to support their caregivers. Another project that we're looking at is with Rakuten Kobo. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with Rakuten and their e-readers that they have. So we've been working with Rakuten to validate some of their features that they have to make reading more accessible for older adults. At the same time, we're measuring the benefits of this technology to mitigate apathy among residents newly entered to a long-term care system. And so through our partnership with Kobo, we're able to run two different trials. One is in the long-term care sector. We have another trial running in the community, looking at the effects of engagement with reading through use of their e-readers to actually promote mental health and well-being by mitigating apathy. So there's lots of different, so even a very established technology like the Kobo e-readers that have these features, we're able to, through our center, create these different projects to validate some of the new features and things that they've added. We also do a lot of projects with a new dementia care home. So this is located in Vanderhoof, British Columbia, which is a very small town of about 3,000 people. And so one of their challenges was, because they're so small and so rural, when individuals get moderate dementia and start to become a risk to living at home in the community, they actually have to go to one of the larger urban centers to receive care, and they get disconnected from their community. So this facility here is an alternative way to think about dementia care and keep people in their home community. So it's a very small 10-bed facility on the first floor of this building. And then the upper 2 floors of this building are low-income and supported seniors housing. So indeed, if one spouse had moderate dementia, the other spouse could move onto one of the upper floors and they could live in the same building. And this facility is set up like a home-like environment. So it really focuses on the living model. So you can see the big kitchen there and the wide open spaces for a lot of engagement. So we've been working with partners at this facility before the facility was even built to look at different technologies to embed within the facility. So in this facility, for example, we have circadian lighting, and we're running studies to really evaluate the benefits of that circadian lighting to reduce sundowning and behaviors associated with dementia. And we know that one of the big challenges we have, because we're so far north, especially in winter, is lack of access to natural sunlight. So what we've got is the lighting in the facility changes from a blue backlight, and then it changes to more of an orange, softer light for more relaxing in the evening. There's also great work to suggest that this kind of technology also enhances staff well-being in the facility. So we're looking at validating some of those things that we have heard in the rural and small town context. Another great technology that we have is looking at interactive exercise for older adults. So this is Centivisor, and they've got an exercise bike here, and you can see the individual is able to ride their bike and travel a bit there in there and do something in more interactive. But for rural dwelling older adults, you know, traveling in Italy or Spain may not be so meaningful. So we've developed a lot of local content to tailor this technology to be more relevant and feasible and stimulating for people who've grown up in a very rural context. So we've created content for farmland or nature hikes in different kind of context. Another one that we're working on, and this is a much larger scale validation study we're looking at, is sleep sense. And so this technology is like a bed sensor, and it monitors into bed, out of bed, breathing rate, and it really looks at supporting individuals to sleep better. So when we think about a care facility where staff would have to go in and check on residents, instead this way they can actually monitor that. They can monitor that they're in bed and they're sleeping well, or they've gotten out of bed and maybe they need to be followed up on. So this is a way to look at better streamlining of patient care, but also more efficiencies with staff staff time management. So we have quite a large trial looking at validating that to see what is the actual time saved for staff. So the partner here is in a large group of long-term care facilities, and we're looking at implementing and also developing different business case scenario for this company on how to market to larger health authorities rather than marketing to individual consumers. And again, we have 2 health authorities for this as our partners. The final project I want to share with you is a lot of the work that we do in validating things is also community education and awareness building, because there's lots of things out there, but people might not be aware of it. So we've created a lot of resources for the community. And so the DREAM project is dementia resources for eating, activity, and meaningful inclusion. And we wanted to support community providers to understand more about dementia and how they can be inclusive. So we've created a lot of online resources, and these are easily accessible on our website. And I encourage you to look at them and use them and see if you can adapt them for your content or for your context. So we have 7 learning modules. So there's a whole online learning program that's free for anyone to use if you're trying to teach people about what is dementia. And so if you think about your local exercise provider, what might they need to know to be able to support people with dementia to continue to engage in their programs? We have different kinds of brochures and booklets that are designed either for care for community wellness providers or for individuals with dementia themselves. And we also have these destigmatizing videos and all of this work was co-created with individuals who were living with dementia. And so lots of these videos are shot in different parts of Canada, but some of them are shot here in northern BC as well. And you can download and use these videos for any of your own community education as well. So just to sum up, we at CTAN really take a partnered approach to ensure that technologies enable, they empower, and they engage those who are aging in the North. We aim to support older adults, their care partners, and our health systems partners that support them to live and age to the best that they can in the context that they've got. So I want to welcome all of you to, if there's any questions you have, please feel free to email me or connect with us at CTAN. Our website is there, www.ctan.ca, and I look forward to connecting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Shannon, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I know that it should be like now in 2 a.m. from your side, right? Thank you very much. So let's take the questions first so that you can have rest very soon. So the first question is, how does CTAN address the challenge of gap between feeling confident and comfortable to use technology and the actual number of older adults who use these technologies?
Yeah, so we do a lot of community outreach. We have developed a large number of brochures and infographics to help older adults and care partners make an informed decision about the technology that's right for them. So when we go to community, we share out those resources. They're available on our website. And that helps them, when they're trying to choose a technology in an online store and there's 500 options, helps them guide them on what questions they should ask to choose the right technology for them.
I see. And another question is, what are the challenges faced when making technologies accessible and usable in northern communities?
One of the biggest challenges is making sure the technologies work. So there's lots of challenges in accessibility to reliable Wi-Fi. I can imagine in other countries, this is also a challenge when people may not have the financial resources to be able to purchase and access technology to use them. So that's one of the biggest challenges that we face is the accessibility piece. So we often work with companies on how to make a different business model. So when we have a large number of older adults who may not be able to afford the technology, we look at, is there someone else who could purchase it for them? For example, if the health authority or your hospital or your long-term care facility or your government purchases and makes that technology available, then how much money may they save by not having to provide in-person services? So for example, we work with a robotic glove, a company that makes the robotic glove for persons with essential tremors. So we worked with that company to say, hey, if the health authority invests to purchase this technology and make it accessible, then the individuals who use it are able to not require the same level of nursing care. So we're able to build that evidence to support a different way to make those technologies more accessible to older persons.
Wow, that's very inspiring that you, especially somehow it is about how the accessibility of information that people can access to, and that that should be something the government can actually provide support to, which is a good resources that we can exhaust on. And another question is, could you provide more details about the community education and awareness building efforts conducted by CTAN and how these resources can be utilized by different stakeholders?
Yeah, so you saw an example of the DREAM study, for example. So those resources are all freely available online for people. Also, we have hard copies, so people who can't print the manuals or resources from the website are able to come to our center and connect with us, and we will give them paper copies of those. We do a lot of work out in the community. So when we go, we are working with different community organizations to share the resources directly with them so they can share them more broadly as well. And by making all of the resources freely available, then we're able to enhance that accessibility. So the other thing about educational resources is we co-create most of them so that we work with older adults and their care partners or our health systems partners to create those resources. And by working together to create them means that they'll be more usable by those individuals. The final products are able to actually better meet their needs. So rather than my team working independently, we work together with all of the different stakeholders who could benefit from the technologies to make sure, or benefit from the educational resources to make sure that they're tailored to meet their needs right at the beginning. So we have also have multilingual resources. So we do lots of translation as well to make sure that they're accessible to a very multicultural population, as we have a large immigrant population in Canada, and we want to make sure that the information is not just available in English and French, but also in the languages that people in our communities are speaking.
Thank you. And yeah, I think that is something that you find a mutual interest, that you help people so that they can help others, in which they can actually use your resources, and at the same time, your ideas and your organization's idea can actually express it to the community that you probably wish to engage with.
That's right.
Yeah. And another question is, are there any ongoing research studies or upcoming projects that Sita is particularly excited about and looking forward to?
Yes, we have lots of things we're excited about. We're currently working with a company that has made a walker that will help if an older adult has fallen, the actual walker will help get them back up off the floor. So that's a really exciting technology. We also are working with another company that has a personless transfer system. So those are two projects that are actively going on. We're working in communities in the current weeks on those. And another one is looking at enhancing sleep in long-term care using sensor technology so that staff know which residents are up or not up. They know what residents may be restless. And so to support the night shift staff to provide better care. So we have a very large 3-phase study going forward to actually spread that technology to quite a few long-term care facilities. And then by doing so, we also help to improve the work environment for the staff, especially since COVID. Workforce retention and recruitment in healthcare is very challenged in Canada. So this is a way to help not only the older adults live better, but also to help the care staff have a better work environment, and hopefully to reduce some of their unnecessary workload, especially on the night shift. So those are some that we're super excited about right now.
Thank you. I think you have made a good point, especially it is actually something that urgent to help the work of the care workers inside the facilities, especially they are seeing the key workers during COVID, but how about afterwards? They are still the key workers. And thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for joining us in this very early, very late night for you.
It's my great pleasure to be invited here today and share what we're doing with all of the participants and attendees today. So thank you kindly.
Thank you.